car. Then bring the audio in for everybody else. Hi, say hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
All
Hey,
right,
everybody.
there we go. All right, and then I'm just gonna bring up the thing here and see if I hear sounds. Everybody else. Hi, say hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
Cool, I heard everybody. Cool. All right.
Awesome.
Didn't get any new viewers from last time that I can see. No, we did get one. Thank you,
Go for it.
Thank you, Luna has returned for following me to China. Um, I gotta say, Luna has been very supportive of us, in following us. So I'm super happy with that. Um, I'm pretty sure it's the same Luna because it's Luna Sec XQC, Luna Seconds, Luna Band, and Luna has returned. So I gotta say thanks a lot, Luna. All right,
Nice.
guys. We have downtime. Who here does not have Xanathars, like physical or in PDF, like on somewhere?
Yeah, I have a PDF of it, but that's about it.
All right. So yeah. So there's a bunch of downtime and Xanathars that you guys can look into.
Yeah. I'm looking at a few things that might be useful. Um, One of them that seems like a good idea is pit fighting. No, I'm just kidding. Um, Research is the good idea. Is maybe we can learn some information in our downtime. Um, if so, because I know Thorn's pretty dedicated in his downtime, but we want to make the most out of what the time we got. So I think sitting down and researching would be a good idea. I know Ardonis is a whole lot smarter than I am, so I'd probably recommend it to Ardonis if maybe he could find some. Oh wait, you were scribing some spell scrolls, right?
Um,
Is that what you were
uh,
doing in your downtime?
no.
Oh, okay.
Not
I,
that I
I wasn't
know of.
sure what you were doing.
Or wait, I mean, I was transferring one spell scroll to my spell book
Okay.
Okay.
Which I
and
think
also
the
practicing archery.
practicing archery, yeah. You're getting a couple of weeks out of the 10 weeks required. Um,
Nice.
Hello?
Hmm.
oh, there you are. Hi.
There we go. I fixed it.
Yay. All right, say hello. We're
Hey,
streaming live.
everybody.
All right. Okay. So
I guess I'll do research.
Okay. So that means you spent so for 2 weeks of archery practice, you're gonna spend 50 gold. You still need to spend 25 more gold across 8 more weeks. Okay. For Ardonis. Okay.
Okay, wait. So we just went through 2 weeks of downtime.
So you guys had 2 weeks before the party, and then 2 weeks after. So you guys have 4 weeks. Up to you on how you want to spend it.
Oh, so I could say that then for 4 weeks I was training in archery.
Yeah, and then it would be 25 gold pieces a week, and then you'd still have 6 more weeks of training to do to get it to be proficient with the bow and arrow. You can still use a bow and arrow. You just don't gain your proficiency bonus.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's all it
Hmm.
is. It's just you don't get that proficiency bonus added to your attack rolls. You only
Yeah, so
add
you
your
just won't
flat
get the
dex.
+4.
Yeah, which means a lot to hitting. Um, means nothing to actually doing anything in the
Damage is
um,
unaffected. Yeah.
yeah. Um, but Xeon already knows what he wants to do. You want to do pit fighting, research. What was it again?
Research.
Research.
Pit fighting was a joke.
Oh, okay, okay.
Sure, God, that was a terrible roll.
Which is going to be interesting because it's an intelligence check.
Thorn would also do research, but I don't know if he'll have the time with all the potions he's making.
So it says resolution. The character declares the focus of the research a specific person, place, thing. After 1 work week, the character makes an intelligence check with a +1 per 100 gold pieces spent beyond the initial 100 gold pieces to a maximum of +6. In addition, a character who has access to a particular well-stocked library or knowledgeable sage gains advantage on this check. Are there libraries and stuff in Miletus? I would assume
Well,
so.
yeah. Miletus has not only a temple to every god, in the style that is appropriate to that god, with like Nylea's temple not even really being a temple, but just a sanctuary for animals, things like that. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like it's not all.
Gotcha.
It's not that it's all literal temples.
hmm
And so not only do they have that for each one, and those temples and areas are used as banks, and there's all this stuff. So having a sage, yes, but you need to have access to. You have to choose whether you want to do a library or a sage to conduct your research, and then which library do you want to?
Yeah, and I think it'll be dependent on what I'm trying to look for.
Mhm.
So, because I have four weeks of downtime, I can do 4 separate weeks of research if I want to. So I don't necessarily have to. So hold on. So if I wanted to get a +6, I think the first thing that I would do would be the most important. Which I want to.
So you have to spend 50 gold. So with the +6, you're spending 650 gold for the week.
Um, Assuming that such is available, such research work week of effort and at least 50 gold pieces. It says at least 50 gold pieces to spend, but it also says that I can spend 100 gold pieces beyond 100 gold pieces, or every 100 beyond 100 I spend
To add a
gets me
+1.
+1.
Yeah.
So
So
if
it's like
so, I have to
it
spend an
guarantees you.
extra 50 before I can start gaining pluses.
Right. Yeah.
Is what's going on.
There's a base 50, and then for every 100 that you spend beyond
The 100
intelligence.
mark.
Yeah. For
So
100
I'm
GP.
spending an extra. So the first +1 is 150 that I have to spend.
Let's see. Hold on. After 1 work week, the character makes an intelligence check with a +1 bonus per 100 GP spent beyond the initial 100 GP to a maximum of 60. But then there's at least a 50 GP spent on materials, bribes, and
Yeah, it says
gifts.
at least 50.
Okay, so so that means that yes. Well, no, but it's only after the first 100 is spent, which means that
Yes. The
um
first +1 is 150 basically.
no,
Extra.
because I don't know if this is a typo. I don't know if this is a typo. Look, it says that you have to
Okay.
spend at least 50 gold pieces on material, but you
hmm
have to spend 100 GP beyond an initial 100 GP. Um,
Yes.
so if it's a typo, then it should be for every 100 spent after the first 100, you get a +1, which means that it's 650. But with the way it's worded, you have to spend at least 50 to do it. So it's like, oh, that's the minimum. But you can spend 100 without any benefit, and then spend another 100, which means spending 200 to get the first +1.
Exactly. That's how I understand it.
Which means it
So I'm
would be
spending 200
so
gold pieces just to get a +1.
yeah, which
I
means that it's
imagine
700 to get the +6.
I don't imagine you need to spend 100 to not gain anything additional. That
Yeah, it
seems
doesn't
weird.
make sense. Each piece of lore, is a team. So I'm going to say that it's 50 GP base, and then I'm gonna rule it as a typo for the beyond the initial 100. Just say the beyond the initial
Okay.
50. So once you spend
All right.
150,
Understandable.
you get a +1.
So to get +6, I spend 650.
Yeah.
Okay. So before, I guess this is, so going back to week 1, right?
Uh-huh.
RP wise. Um, this
Yes.
is before the party, before we put down Valerion, before we were going on this whole rant and stuff like that. I would want to do research on, oh,
On
I guess I should have done this beforehand. I guess I'll do the research that isn't about Valerion. I want to do research on basically we knew that before the meeting, we knew that Valerion was hiding up in the Minotaur kingdoms and stuff like that. And
yes.
we also know that he has been influencing Returned. So I want to do some research on how Returned are getting here for the first one, right?
Okay.
Is that a choosable topic?
Okay. Yeah, so
And then kind of I want to do a just on Returned in general. I kind of want to find like how they're getting here, how like what's their motives other than just like what we don't already know, which is they just want to become a part of the common population. Like how are they getting here? What is
yeah,
giving them the ability to
you
get
have
here?
yeah, you have information some information
Hmm.
already about the Returned.
Hmm.
Um which is pretty good. So let's go ahead and get
So I'm gonna spend um the gold on this, which I don't know. What do you guys think? I shouldn't go all out on this. I don't think I need to spend a whole lot of money on this. Um, so I'll just spend 150 gold to get a +1 on this, I guess.
I mean, we have a ton of gold for as far as party funds. We don't have much to spend it on, really.
I have 2,015 gold pieces. I was just gonna use my own gold to do my own research.
so um I want you to understand that the research, like you're choosing a person, a place, or a thing, right? So you're choosing a noun to research, but
Hmm.
you're choosing specifically how the returned come back, right? Like it's
Okay, so I guess I choose the noun returned, and I just learn about returned.
yeah. So yeah, this is
And then if I roll a 1 to 5, no effect. A 6 to 10, I learned 1 piece of lore. 11 to 20, I learned 2 pieces of lore. And if I get a 21 plus, I learn 3 pieces.
which you can only get the 21 plus by doing the
Um, could I
Yeah, I
give?
have to
oh no,
spend gold.
well this is a oh this is an intelligence check.
Yes,
Oh, so you
Could
get
I?
get your intelligence bonus regardless.
which is
Uh,
nothing.
can I give him advantage if I let him look at my
I'm already
notes
getting
for
advantage.
anything? Oh, you are.
Yeah, because we have access to a library or a sage. So I guess I would use a library here for this,
No,
to do research.
that's not what's giving you advantage. That's what's giving you anything. You have to have a library or a sage to conduct the research. Otherwise, you can't do the thing at all.
It says, in addition, a character who has access to a particularly well-stocked library or knowledgeable sage gains advantage on this check.
Where does it say that? I didn't see that.
It's the next sentence
Oh,
right
okay. In
after the
addition, event.
+1.
Determine how much lore a
Argos
character
just
learns.
messaged
Okay.
us on Discord.
Oh, did he?
So if I have a library but it's not well stocked, that's a different thing.
Oh, that's a
Are you
bummer.
saying it's well stocked, Eddie, or is it not?
Oh wow. His power's off for 7 hours. I see. So you guys have a lot of libraries and things like that. But it's all fractured information.
I am spending a week doing this, so I don't have to spend a week just at one library, right? I could, if
Yeah.
there's a bunch of really of moderately good stocked libraries, I mean, that's basically one really big, well-stocked library, I guess. Unless they have the same information in each of the libraries, then it's not well-stocked. So, I
Right.
mean, I can
Yeah.
spend each day going to a different library, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Um. Yeah. I'll give you advantage on that in that case. Yeah.
All right, and then I have to spend some gold in order to have the possibility of getting 3 pieces of lore on this, because I only have a 10 in intelligence, so I don't have a modifier. Uh, so I guess I'll spend more than 100. I don't know. A +2 with advantage or +1 with advantage seems good, so I'll just do 150
Okay.
gold
All right.
pieces. And then I'll roll a d20 +1.
Because you have no intelligence.
I have no intelligence, and I'm not. It's just easier to do this by rolling a d20 +1 rather than just rolling off the character sheet.
Okay.
15. So I get 2 pieces of lore.
You had advantage.
Oh, right. 15. I get 2 pieces of lore.
Okay. Nice. Technically on the 11 as well. So.
Technically on the 11 as well.
All right. About return. Give me one moment while I bring them up.
Okay. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna think about what else I want to research.
All right. Thorn spent the downtime on the potion making, right?
Yeah, so I did the math, and um, I can make 12 potions, so that we each have 3 greater healing potions. But it'll
Ooh.
cost $3,600 or 3,600 gold, which I assume is fine coming out of the pooled fund.
Okay.
I think Xeon keeps track of that. So
Wait, how much gold is it?
3,600 for 12 greater healing potions.
And how much did... Okay, so hold on. Let me bring up a separate calculator for this. 'Cause I'm checking separate finances. So we have 100 or 17,950 gold pieces minus the 6,300 gold. So that's what, 100 or 1,800 gold for all the diamonds. And then how much are you spending, Thorn?
3,600 for the potions.
All right, cool.
And I'll distribute that to everybody, so each person gets 3 of these potions.
Are you writing it?
Hmm.
Yeah, make sure to write them down so you don't forget that you have those.
Yeah, I'm just putting new party fund in the Theros Discord. And then you said what type of potion?
Greater healing. So these are going to
Greater
be
healing.
4d4 plus 4, I believe.
And we each get 1.
3. We have enough for 3 per person.
Awesome.
That's not much, but it'll keep us alive for sure.
And how much do they weigh? Just curiosity.
That's a good question. Probably like a pound each. They're not that heavy.
Wait, you said how many healing potions each?
3.
3 greater healing
3
potions
greater.
each.
Oh wow.
That should
And
keep us from dying.
yeah, that's pretty good. Let's see here.
Stupid expensive though. It took me forever to learn how to make these potions too. So better make use of it. I'm looking up how much they weigh. They don't really give a weight, so I assume it's just a negligible amount.
All right, I'll just leave it blank
Um,
then.
I can look at something that would be similar.
I
Like
mean, I think you can get a weight of. I think the book has the weight value for a vial. It might be the roughly the same
yeah, I'm checking that
weight
right
as
now.
that.
Let's see. Oh, right here, potion of healing is half a pound.
Awesome.
How much healing do you get out of a greater healing?
A lot.
1d4 plus 4.
1d4 plus 4?
Or 4d4, excuse me.
Oh, 4d4.
Yeah, much better than the normal ones, which are 2d4 plus 2.
Mhm. And it's even better because Eddie allows potion drinking as a bonus action and not a full action.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay,
That's
so
just Eddie's campaign, not base game. All right, you ready, Eddie?
yeah, so here you got two factoids. Here's fact number one is that many return that come back, especially the ones that are in the city in the returned cities, and not specifically the ones you guys ran into on the island. Um, do so following something called the Path of Phoenix, which causes them to lose their identity. Their identities therefore manifesting as eidolons in the world of Theros.
Okay.
Um, that the other thing you learned was that. Hold on, let me get the other thing. Sorry, I forgot to.
It's fine.
I forgot
I wrote it down.
I forgot the page number. You got that down?
Yeah, I got that written down.
Okay.
Return that come back from returned cities do so from the Path of Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume I spelt Phoenix right. I probably didn't.
Phenax.
Oh, okay. I did. I did spell it right, guys.
It's one of the normal names, kind of.
Kind of.
Well, he's also one of the gods, so.
One of the normal gods. Wait, what?
He's a mortal god, technically.
Let's see.
And if he's not, he should follow his own path. All right. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, the other thing you found out about was that another way that return comeback is without the masks. So the masks themselves are kind of like one thing.
That's the mask. The mask is used in the Path of Phoenix.
So the mask is used to cover their faces because their faces are like kind of like hollow-eyed and empty and emotionless.
Gotcha.
Whereas the
The other way.
the masks are the mask because they have the masks they wear in the underworld and they have these masks that they wear as returned. The underworld masks are taken off, and they come back as the masks are taken off through the Path of Phoenix, and then that's why their faces become messed up. The other way though, they get to keep their faces. It's kind of a complicated thing. It's but that's the other
So
factoid you get.
is sometimes when they come back, they keep their faces.
Yeah, and in that case, the mask is taken off after they leave the underworld, which means that if you have the mask on in the underworld, you're not really existing. you're but if so you have to take it off so that you can have the free will to escape. But when you do that, you come back as a corpse. So if you're able to have free will to escape while keeping the mask on, you maintain your humanity.
So you take the mask off when you get to the overworld, or you take the mask off when it's in the underworld, you keep your face?
If you take the mask off before you leave the underworld, you lose your face and you're undead. That's the path of
Okay.
Phoenix. If you the other way is that you keep the mask on, and you take it off at a different point, which is something that your information can't come up with, because nobody knows it.
So it's taken off in the overworld somewhere. I don't know specifically where.
Right, but when they do, they are not undead. They are living again. And the masks that they
Okay.
had, if they get if they are returned to Athreos, then Athreos is able to pull them back to the underworld. Unless Athreos gets those masks back, they are allowed to exist in the world, and they are technically immortal, because death is unable to find them.
So the mask can be used to send them to the underworld by who?
By giving it to Athreos, the boatman.
Giving
Yes, the boatman.
it to Athreos. Mask can be used to send them to the underworld by giving them to Athreos. Otherwise, they are immortal, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can't die.
Awesome. Okay, I have all of that written down. Awesome. Week 2.
Rich, what was it that you were doing on your downtime?
Archery.
Practicing archery.
Practicing archery. Okay. So, according to the book here, you have to find a teacher. And it can't be Xian because he's busy doing stuff. So.
Wait, what? Oh, you have to find a teacher?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. So
So,
I guess I don't need all 4 weeks of research, do I?
What about that guy Kaku?
he's not. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he works for Nightlight. He does have bow training. Okay. Yeah, Kaku
That
happily.
sounds like a real sensei name.
Yeah, he says that he's willing to accept the money as donations for the sheltering that he's building, and therefore he will train you.
Nice.
Let's see here.
And he's a follower of Nylea, right?
Yeah, he is. Oh, cool. I get to roll that. Okay. He teaches you a method of shooting the bow and arrow that when you everybody else, like when you go to like practice archery ranges at the archery range like in Miletus later, everybody else looks at you weird because you're holding the bow, like they're saying you're holding the bow weird.
Oh,
It's
so
not
he
that
sucked at archery.
so it's not that it's not it's not that it's not working. It's not like you're not shooting the arrow. It's just that everybody's making fun of you when you do it.
Oh,
Um, So there's that. That's fun. Let's see here. Then let's do this here. Oh, okay. That one also did something. Let's see. Okay. So week 2 of research. Do you have questions stemmed on from what you found out, or do you want to do something else?
Who, me?
Yes, research.
Yes, I would like to do some more research. My next topic is Minotaurs. I want to understand the influence. So we saw the gods coming to peace, right? Which was Falarion's kind of disguise, or we assumed Falarion was like disguising that or forcing the two gods to make peace with each other. Which was Mogus and who was the other one?
Erois.
Erois. And so the Minotaurs under Mogus somehow have made allegiance with um Falarion. I want to research Minotaurs in hopes that might be a prophecy, some sort of like religious belief, some sort of hierarchy as to why a Minotaur would want to follow a human, right? Whether it's power, whether it's uh, a religious ritual. So I'd probably spend some time at the temple to Mogus that's in Miletus to get research on this, and maybe I'll find a knowledgeable sage there that necessarily understands the ways of thinking of Minotaurs and the relation to Mogus. So maybe there's some books at that temple as well that I can research along with the sage.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
All right. Give me,
Is that allowable?
and the Polis. Which one are you going to? Say that again.
The Temple of Mogus.
I see.
In order to talk to a preacher there or a knowledgeable sage on the topic, and you said that they possibly have books in these temples, so maybe some books along with the sage.
All right, give me a
to
roll.
learn about Minotaurs and their association.
All
And
right.
then before the roll, I'm going to specify how much I'm spending, so I have my modifier. I am going to. The one didn't really give me much, so I guess I'll just spend a little more gold because I have a bunch. I'll do the. Because this is something I know less about, I'm going to do the 650.
Okay.
650 gold pieces.
That guarantees you at least one.
It does guarantee me at least one, which is the goal. Thank you, Eddie. Gosh. Thanks for the positivity. Let me mark down my gold real quick. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. No. The copy. Paste. There we go. Stupid. Alright, so that means I have a +6 on an intelligence check, so that's a d20 plus 6. 6, and then 2 of them. Or no, just one. I roll it 2 times. So, first roll, that's a +5. Oops. That's a 14 and not a 13.
Well, it's the same result.
And then an 8, so a 14. So
Okay.
I get 2 pieces of lore again.
Okay. And the question is, how they would have done that. So let's see.
It's Minotaurs and Mogus, I guess. I don't remember how to spell Mogus. How do you spell Mogus?
Mogis.
Gis.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
Spelling's hard.
so, um, the current setup of Scophos and Miletus is based on a war that happened between the humans and the Minotaurs.
Mm-hmm.
That had a lot of bloodshed, and the martial doctrines were inspired by Mogus and Erois instead of being doctrines of Ephara, which is the goddess of the polis. So um, there's there's kind of like a small piece between Miletus and Scophos, with Phoberus being a barrier between them. Um,
Phoberus.
Phoberus, Phoberos.
Jesus
Um,
fucking Christ. PHO. What?
Phoberos.
ERO. Okay.
Um,
Veros being a barrier between the humans and Minotaurs, or between Mogus and Erois?
yes, for everything. So while most humans and Minotaurs embraced the division, not all of them did. Um, mostly because Karametra tried to teach people a new way of living. So and founded Satessa. So you have Satessa, which is sort of like all about growing in harmony, and the seasons, and that's where the seasons come in from. Um, and you have Miletus and Acros as kind of like very human based, but with all sorts of people living in them. So the
Mm-hmm.
amount of Minotaurs in Miletus, for example, is like you kind of like know that a Minotaur lives in your neighborhood, kind of thing,
Yeah.
as
So
opposed
the
to
most humans and Minotaurs don't live together. They live
that is
separately.
that is
That's what you're
correct.
saying.
Yes, for the majority. So there might be a human or two, or in or a handful in Scophos. Most of the people there are Minotaurs. Like there might be some Tritons there, but most of the people there are Minotaurs. There might be some Satyrs there, but most of the people there are Minotaurs. Um, and so the um, so that division happened a long, long, long time ago. Um, but Erois and Mogus keep creating wars between each other. They keep kind of like redoing the battles, and then coming to an uneasy truce. Um, you ended up finding several storylines that kind of like um, it kind of like felt like you're reading a story and then you're reading the same story again, but like written differently.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of that. Um,
Okay. So is that the first one?
that is the first one. Um, okay.
All right.
Um, let's see if I can find. Let's see. Da-da-da.
You're gonna love the last 2 weeks after this. I have something great planned. There's a build up here.
But there's their payoff.
And we have to see the rolls to see that first.
um, the second bit of information, let me go over to the right spot here. Let's see. You were, well, sorry, what was the question again? So I can, because I was answering the question before and then I forgot it when I was trying to read through the
So
thing.
the purpose you're asking, like, the purpose of my research?
Yeah. The goal.
The purpose of the research, the goal is, for one, you've already answered the one you already answered, which was the connection between humans and minotaurs. The reason why the minotaurs are basically, okay, now I'm confusing myself.
Yeah.
Hold on. Uh, I asked about the my focus was is to why minotaurs that follow Mogus would adhere to a being human being as
Yeah.
a leader or someone to follow. So you already answered that in one way, that humans and minotaurs, because Mogus and Erois are at war, humans and minotaurs do most of the time do not associate with each other, and especially ones that follow Mogus do not.
Yeah.
Is basically what you've kind of answered.
Yeah, which means that yeah, essentially a human would follow, they would follow a human if
Hmm.
that human was associated with Mogus, kind of thing.
Okay, so that's the second piece, is they would follow a human if they associated with Mogus.
Yeah. Um, there's you did the second fact you're gonna get is
Oh, I thought that was the second fact.
no
Okay,
no no
sorry. I'll
no
add
no
that
that
to
that
the first fact.
yeah, no, that is essentially the answer from the first fact, is that it's not necessarily a split of
Hmm.
human and minotaur, is more about whether you're with Mogus or not, and that is even
Hmm.
among the minotaurs.
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting from the temple. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
And the preacher probably tries and sells me on trying to convert me to Mogus at the same time. I'm picturing.
Yeah, he's trying to get you to bring people in for sacrifice and things like that.
Ah, wonderful. I'll bring I'll bring sacrifices later, I guess.
Um,
I'm never coming back here. Sorry, I cut you off.
yeah, no problem. There's also a the other fact you end up getting is that there was a belief, there was like a myth from humans about Mogus that Minotaurs come from Mogus getting his most favorite followers and changing them into Minotaurs. But that's not actually true, because there were Minotaurs in existence before Mogus existed, which is something that, like, as soon as you hear it, you like don't quite say it. You don't. It doesn't quite register, but it's essentially saying that Minotaurs are not from Mogus.
Okay, so minotaurs are
They're not from.
not
They're not from Mogus. Mogus
from
looks like a Minotaur. He looks like a huge Minotaur.
Mogus or his religion.
Yeah, it's not that Mogus and Minotaurs are one and the same. It's he is not the parent of all Minotaurs. Although a
Gotcha.
lot,
I mean,
yeah,
that's fair. That's good information.
yeah. All right.
All right, so that's my information. That's
So
good.
so this
I'm
was all
happy with
this
that.
this is all you guys found. This is before. Thank you for coming to watch. Really appreciate it. Please comment, like, and subscribe here and on Twitch, and support me on Patreon. Bye, gamers.